You got it tuned to 90.3. It's KEXP in Seattle. My name's Evie, and I am joined here in the live studio by William Doyle, better known as East India Youth. Hi there.
Hello.
Thanks for joining.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, we're very excited. Got some music to play for us?
I do, indeed.
Right. Whenever you're ready, take it away.
Okay, this song's called Turn Away, and I'll seamlessly go into a song called Looking for Someone, which was from my last album.
Christ alive, I think that I've had enough. Contemplating taking holes for my love. At the point of Looking for someone, I don't know where they are. Looking for someone, I don't know who they are. But God, I need someone, hope they aren't very far. 'Cause now I need something just for me and no one else. I want something for myself. I want something for myself. Think I feel nothing, you think I feel nothing. You don't know how wrong you are. I know you feel something, I know you feel something. Can't you let it open up? I'm looking for someone, and I know that you're the one. I'm looking for someone, pretty sure you were the one. Once around, but now you're gone. Once around, but now you're gone.
You're listening to East India Youth live here on KEXP, streaming all over the globe at KEXP.org. That was incredible. That was beautiful.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I got goosebumps. Thank you for that. And it sounds even better in these headphones with the beautiful lighting in the background. And he's playing off of his keyboard, his guitar, his laptops. You all see it once a video comes up, but it's quite the sight.
Yeah, no, it's I keep myself busy. I got a lot to do.
Yeah,
out
you
here,
do.
Definitely.
Good cardio.
Yeah. It's about the only exercise I actually do.
Yeah. So do you do, when you perform live, do you do all your music one into the other songs like that? Or
I try to, as much as possible. It keeps it exciting for me, and I think that, you take people on a bit of a musical sort of sound journey throughout the whole set, which could be up to an hour or more. And I think that when you've grabbed the audience, if you don't let up throughout that whole point, they'll come out the other side of it going like, what the hell did I just watch?
Right, yeah.
So it's it's an interesting thing to try to fit together.
Well, it was beautiful. Again, very into
Thank
it.
you very much.
You're welcome. So you have a new album out. It's Culture of Volume. It's your second full length.
Yes.
I believe. And the first one was Total Strife Forever.
Yeah.
Correct? So I read something about Culture of Volume sort of being like an addition to Total Strife Forever, like you were continuing the story, sort of. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about that, or how you recorded the album?
I think that I finished Total Strife Forever quite a while before it actually came out on like CD and vinyl. So in that time, I started to make the second album. So the two periods cross over quite a lot. And I don't know. I guess they go between different styles on each track. And I think Culture Volume just sort of moves forward in those the areas that the first album explored. It just reaches new extremities with them, really. Which is an interesting way to work. And I guess it sounds so varied because it took me about 2 years to make each album, I guess, even though they only came out sort of a year apart from each other. So like I say, there's a lot of crossover. So yeah, it's like the next step, if you like.
And it does go from like one end of the spectrum from being totally ambient to being like rave jams.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Do you want to tell me a little bit about maybe some of your influences? I saw that you met Brian Eno recently, so lucky you.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really get much better than that for me, I think. No, he's taught me a lot about the way creativity works generally. I think I've taken a lot of inspiration just from his methods, even more perhaps than his music. So that's found its way into what I've done, and especially the work he did in like the late 70s with David Bowie in Berlin and stuff, and that sound that they'd marrying that sort of avant-garde sensibility with like the pop stuff is kind of what I tried to do in with East India Youth. It's a lot, but like I say, it will be influenced by classical minimalism to industrial techno and ambient. Anything that I'll listen to more than once, I guess, sort of finds its way into the sound of what I'm doing. Right.
Well, I can see that. Did you grow up listening to electronic music?
No, I didn't. I only really got into it, I guess, like maybe 5 years ago. I'm properly into it, and I started to record my songs when I started writing songs when I was about 14 on the computer, and that sort of I found electronic stuff by accident there, and how to make electronic music sort of came naturally that way. So I kind of did that first, and then got into electronic music later. Yeah. So I think that's given my perspective on things just like another angle. Right,
because you were the front man for an indie pop group, correct? It was Doyle and the Forefathers? Yeah. Well, that was a great record too.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do you think what you did there ties into like what this last record? Because it sounds a little more like you have sort of that indie vibe, or
I just think
or pop vibe, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's about the melody, really. That's sort of always been the focus of what I've done since I started writing songs. And even though Total Strife Forever was quite abstract and a bit lo-fi in places, and a lot of it was instrumental, I thought that I'd return eventually to being a songwriter. I consider myself a songwriter who uses electronic music as a vehicle rather than like a quote-unquote producer. Right. Or something. So melody and pop structure is always kind of trying to be at the heart of what I do. So yeah, that definitely informed that part of it, and also just the energy required to play live. There's no better way to learn than being in a band and going straight on tour and landing right on the road, and getting your hands dirty that way. That's really taught me a lot of disciplines about how to continue touring with East India Youth, even though it's a very different setup here by myself on the stage.
Well, you started young and you're still young. You're only...
I've got a lot of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I won't say your age, but you're still young. So what are you listening to now? Like, what are you guys listening to while you're on tour?
We've got an incredibly varied list. Now, at one moment, we'll be listening to Snoop Dogg, and then we'll be listening to I don't know, some jazz like Miles Davis or something, and then we'll go into Phil Collins, and then we'll listen to we've been trying to structure our sort of North American trip sort of regionally, musically. George, our sound engineer, has tried very hard to put together these playlists that fit in with the landscape or have something to do with the historical nature of where we are, which is interesting. There's no holds barred really in what we listen to. We were listening to Underworld right next to the Walkman this morning, so it's like,
you may as well be a KEXP DJ with all of these.
Can I have a job?
Maybe.
Can I do a guest slot?
You can do a guest slot during my show sometimes. It's overnight, though, so you may not want to. All right. Well, you are playing tonight at Barboza, doing a live show. Very excited to see that. How has the tour been so far?
Really good fun.
This is your first American tour, correct?
Proper, cool. We've had some beautiful drives and stuff, so...
Where are you guys headed next?
Where are we going next? I'm just looking to see someone.
We're
going to Vancouver, that's it.
Vancouver, yeah. My sister lives in Vancouver. I'll make her come to the show.
Yeah, make sure she does, yeah.
All right. Well, how about you play some more music for us?
Absolutely.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
This song's called Beaming White.
Revelation
You're listening to East India Youth live here on KEXP. Got another one?
Yeah, this one's called Hearts That Never. And then if I just wait for my computer to load that
You can do that.
various bit up.
Yeah.
This is from Culture Volume also. You're always at my side, you're always at my side. I slip into the night, you follow me in time. And now your silhouette is firmly in my mind, eclipsing something real and not your fleeting sign. That never ever let you go. At my side, you're always at my side. I slip into the night, you follow me in time. And now your silhouette is firmly in my mind, eclipsing something real and not your fleeting side. Now that I am fine to look you in the eye, you pull me in until I'm right there at your side. I was caught by surprise, I was caught by surprise. I'm always at your side, I'm always on your mind. I was
East India Youth finishing out an incredible live set here in the KEXP studios with Hearts That Never from the Cultural Volume release, his brand new record. He's performing live at Barboza tonight, so make sure that you check that one out. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, that was a really fun show.
Thank you.
Have a show tonight. Have a lot of fun. Enjoy Seattle.
I will, yeah. I look forward to exploring it a bit.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
I have no idea. We just got here and came to the studio, and then I don't know what's going to happen
Well,
next.
There's plenty of people that'll have recommendations for things, I'm sure, if you want.
Sure.
All right.
Looking forward to it.
Have fun tonight.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was nice to meet you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. It's KEXP 90.3 in Seattle.
Discover new music at listener-powered KEXP.org.